Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Mr. Wahab Shittu here with us, shedding some light on the proceedings, legal proceedings, and then the required procedure about this kind of matter. You were talking about the Money Laundering Act.
Yes.
Well, could you tell us then, I mean, if you say one is an accessory to a crime, people then ask, look, how come you can go ahead and prosecute the accessory, but aren't they supposed to also say, well, this is actually the main crime of which this person is an accessory?
Thank you. The provisions of the law, the Money Laundering Prohibition Act and the EFCC Act, all recognize principal offenders as well as those who facilitate the commission of crime, either by being accessory or aiding or even assisting in the process. For instance, and all of the, and from what EFCC has done through diligent, investigation, they recognize the fact that certain accounts were opened.
Yeah, we get that. But if you just said it now, principal offenders,
yes,
and then those who were aiding and abetting.
Yes.
So can you go for those who are aiding and abetting without getting the principal offender?
As far as the records of the, Sky Bank show, all those who are connected with it presently have been arraigned
as aids. Aiding and abetting. What about the principal offender?
No, those who launder the funds, have been arraigned in court. Those who are alleged to have laundered the funds.
We're talking about the former first lady.
The former first lady. Are you making a case for the invitation of the former first lady?
Let me read the quote here,
yes,
which we have. It's a statement that was put up by her media aide, Yemi Akimbode, who says the former first lady was quoted to have said, quote, "This is an irony. I was the one who went to court for the repatriation of my confiscated money when I realized that the EFCC and its co-travelers were playing politics with this issue after I had come out publicly to say that the said money belongs to me and that I have all evidence to prove the sources of my money. Up till this very moment, EFCC has refused to interrogate or invite me for questioning, while the agency has continued to detain Dudafa under heavy armed security guards," end of quote.
That clearly is an assertion. The matter is still being investigated. You understand what I'm saying? There are other aspects of the matter under investigation. When the investigation is being carried out, you proceed to court on the strength of the materials available to you in the interim that you can use to establish the degree of involvement of persons. From what you have seen, those who are arraigned in court were either linked with the companies that opened the accounts, and some of them are even pleaded guilty. You understand what I'm saying? There were some of them who pleaded not guilty.
Which is another strange, because
yes,
people said to themselves, wait a minute, they've not seen this before. How people on a 15-count charge get to court and immediately plead not.
When the evidence is overwhelming.
And then, don't forget, the second part of that
yes,
is that she then says to the council that these chaps, EFCC just brought them to disguise, and the fact they said they appointed that they are working for the EFCC. This is
those who made this kind of assertion are perhaps unaware of the integrity of the present leadership of EFCC, and by extension, the integrity of the present administration. We are all concerned about the scourge of corruption. This country is faced with the issue of recession. It is an era where all hands must be on deck to recover all ill-gotten money, so in order to bring the economy on track. Without saying that the money is ill-gotten at this stage, I want to recognize the fundamental rights of those who are involved. So I will not sit here and make categorical pronouncements. The door is still open for those who have been accused to defend themselves.
Right.
Once you are accused of being in custody of certain pecuniary resources,
okay,
you can at least justify how you came about it.
Mark,
Yeah, just wondering, Mr. Shittu, the EFCC has said that the First Lady wasn't its target initially, but you did say that, you know, that some accounts or some of the principal actors usually use their aides, especially domestic staff, to open accounts. Were there any suspicion that, you know, the principal staff in Aso Villa could have used their aides to open accounts when at the same time they say, no, the First Lady is not our target?
Well, arising from the volume of the money involved, that's the key thing you must look at first. The amount involved is huge. Now, do you transact such a, you know, do you get involved in such transactions without presenting yourself directly or acting through some of your aides? For instance, with the clear facts in the public now is that those accounts were opened through the instrumentality of the Special Advisor on Domestic Affairs. Now, will you say the Special Advisor on Domestic Affairs did not have the authority of the First Lady, former First Lady, to open those accounts? Now, if he acted without the authority of the former First Lady, what step did the former First Lady take before now to change the narrative? We are talking of an account opened between 2013 and 2014.
All the more reason why they should have
their correspondences
being investigated.
Perhaps
the direct target of the EFCC was the First Lady, was the former First Lady.
Those are insinuations. You are aware that the Special Advisor to the President on Domestic Affairs was under investigation. And these revelations came about as a result of those investigations. It was discovered in the course of those investigations that certain accounts were opened. And you now want to find out, you ask certain questions. Those companies belong to who? Who were the directors? Are there no documentations in the custody of Skybank about those who opened the accounts? Now, if you look at the entire circumstances, it raises a lot of suspicion. And EFCC is concerned with those suspicions. And, you know, when you are in custody of resources far beyond your limits, that ought to pass through financial institutions, that ought to be subjected to some degree of documentations. And you don't see those documentations, you don't see solid explanation. Are you saying that EFCC should fold his hands?
Two things. She has said she's willing to come forward. They have not invited her. So she says she's got full documents to prove that those monies belong to her. And she also said through her counsel that, look, those companies for which those people pleaded guilty, she's not a director, she's not a CEO, nothing with those companies.
I'm saying as a lawyer that the invitation is still open to the former First Lady.
But Mr. Shittu,
you understand what I'm saying?
Mr. Shittu,
the invitation is still open. When you freeze that account.
Mr. Shittu, we know in this country,
yes,
if the FCC is after certain investigation, if they're conducting, they will see most times it will invite you.
No,
most times they will invite you.
Technically, like I've told you.
But isn't it strange that people who are being investigated, someone is offering, look, I'm here, I've got details, invite me and I will come. What we usually see, people just stay below the radar and not be seen.
What I've said, and which is the correct position, is that if certain allegations concerning you are made, do you not fold your hands? You invite yourself. These EFCC's offices are open. We have zonal offices everywhere, and the headquarters.
What do you think about
today? The former First Lady can go to the EFCC.
What do you think about
all these particulars, details, showing how the ownership of the source involved. The prima facie case established is that those funds are laundered. Now, it is for the former First Lady to approach the agency with cogent facts, details of how she came about the money. Having regard that she is an housewife, and as a public servant, she can only earn income through family.
Public servant. The office is not an elective position.
Okay, about Bayelsa State, former Bayelsa State. She can only earn legitimate income through farming.
Okay, Mr. Wahab Shittu, a legal practitioner and also lecturer, Faculty of Law, University of Lagos. We appreciate your coming on this morning.
It's my pleasure.
We'll be back in a moment. Join us again.